Suppose that we have some functions that we know all about. Suppose, for example, we have three functions f, g, and h. I'm not going to tell you anything about them except this, the value that each function takes when we plug in 2. But let's suppose that we know a lot about them. How could we put them together to get new functions? Well, one way we could do that is with the operations of arithmetic. So I could write, for example, f plus g of x to mean what I get when I compute f of x and then add it to g of x. In my example, f plus g of 2 is f of 2 plus g of 2. F of 2 is 12. G of 2 is 4. So f plus g of 2 is 12 plus 4 is 16. Of course, if we can add, we can also subtract. F minus g of x is just what I get when I take f of x and subtract g of x. Continuing with my example, f minus g of 2 will be f of 2 is 12 minus g of 2 is 4. That will give me 8. Can we also multiply and divide? Sure. F times g of x is just what I get when I multiply f of x by g of x. So, continuing my example yet again, f times g of 2 will be 12 times 4, which is 48. Remembering again that f of 2 is 12 and g of 2 is 4. We can even divide. So f divided by g of x, and we'll write division either with a slash or as a fraction, is just f of x divided by g of x. Notice as a real number. Right, so fractions are perfectly okay results. In my example, f divided by g of 2 will be 12 divided by 4 is 3. I could also take g divided by f of 2. That would be 4 divided by 12, which would be 1/3. There are issues here though, right? F divided by h of 2, right, that would be f of 2 over h of 2. F of 2 is 12. H of 2 is 0. Oh, this is undefined. What does that mean when the expression for a function is undefined? That means we're out of the domain. We expect that division will give us some domain problems. So we'll be aware of that when we go on to define division. But how do we compute these things? We have just a two-step process. First we evaluate each function, and then what do? We perform the arithmetic. So I'm going to have you try a couple of exercises computing these things without knowing anything about the formula for the function. Given that f of 4 is 5, g of 4 is 10, and h of 4 is -2, compute each of these. Pause the video and try this now. Alright, well f plus h of 4, that's going to be just f of 4 plus h of 4. F of 4 is 5. H of 4 is -2. 5 plus negative 2 is positive 3. H minus g of 4, that's going to be h of 4 minus g of 4. H of 4 is negative 2. G of 4 is 10. I'll have negative 2 minus 10 is negative 12. F times g of 4, that's f of 4 times g of 4. F of 4 is 5. G of 4 is 10. So this will be 5 times 10 is 50. And finally, g over h of 4, that's going to be g of 4 divided by h of 4. So g of 4 is 10, h of 4 is negative 2. 10 divided by negative 2, that's negative 5.